I'd say I spent most of my life avoiding going to the doctor. I had a few surgeries when I was younger, but other than that, I never really went to the doctor. I could probably count on one hand how many times I went to the doctor from age 20 to 50. Well, 45 I think it was. I don't know, 45, something like that. Anyway, one thing you're going to find out if you're like me and you finally do go to the doctor, they do your blood work, they do your urinalysis, they do all these tests. Most likely, you're going to leave there with a stack of prescriptions, because the healthcare system today, well, you could call it cookie cutter. They have one protocol. They all look at the numbers, and if your numbers fall between a certain amount, you get a prescription. You're either going to get statins, you're going to get blood pressure meds, you're going to get diabetes, metformin. It could be a whole handful of things. And that's what happened to me. And for years, I'm going to say, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, I took all these pills every day. And I never felt any better. Nothing ever helped me. I think it just kept my numbers in check. And then here about, I don't know, almost 2 years ago now, I started changing the way I ate. I started feeling better. Started checking my blood pressure, my blood sugar. I threw all those pills out. Now this video is not about carnivore or any of that. It's about the healthcare system. How do you know to trust your doctor today? How do you know they're feeding you a bunch of crap or not? I'm finding that out now. You know, when I first went in and they said, oh, you got to take all these pills, and my medicine cabinet was full, man. I got to take 2 of these a day, 1 of these a day, 2 of these a day. It was crazy. And I thought that would be how it would be the rest of my life. And how many people are out there taking the same kind of pills? A lot of you that are listening right now probably taking the same kind of medicines. Not once, not one time did anybody tell me, you know, you need to quit eating the foods you're eating. Nobody educates you on the foods that you're eating is causing all these problems. Look at how many people are overweight today. Now that, when you are overweight, certainly you're going to have risk for diabetes. You're going to have high blood pressure. Your body is working overtime. You're going to have a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain. That is the one thing I stayed away from. They tried to prescribe me ibuprofen, big high doses of that. I wouldn't take it, no matter what the pain was. I don't want to take anything for pain. And I think that's good, because if you can handle, the more pain you can handle, you're better off later on when something really happens where there's a lot of pain. You will build your pain tolerance if you stay off those pain medications. But not only that, ibuprofen's bad for you. It's really bad for you. There's really no drugs that are good for you. Our bodies are not intended to be a dispensary for pills. Now the pharmaceutical companies, they want these doctors to prescribe you all these pills. The insurance companies, they're all in bed together. So how do you trust? You know, yes, there is going to be an occasion where you're going to have a doctor. You know, obviously if you break a bone or something like that, you have to go to the doctor. You get a poisonous snake bite. But man, when it comes to your innards, what's going on in there, I think just changing the way you eat. The foods are poison today that we have. People are consuming seed oils, they're consuming pick up a loaf of white bread next time you go to the grocery store and see if you can pronounce anything that's in there. I did a video on my other channel about a year ago comparing labels from the 70s to the same product. I think Wonder Bread was one of them. Took Wonder Bread, the label from the 70s and the label from today, and I'm going to tell you that it has changed. And people think, well, why didn't we get sick when we were kids? Well, you have to look and see what they did with the ingredients. Macaroni and cheese. Kraft macaroni and cheese was another one of them. It was pretty basic back then. We ate that as, you know, as kids all the time. I remember we had that about every Saturday. And grilled cheese sandwiches. All those products now are just filled with preservatives, seed oils, and that is what is making everybody overweight. If you're old enough to remember the 70s, you remember most everybody was slim at an average weight. Nobody was, there were a few, yes, few overweight people around. There always has been. But a lot of that, the overweight people that you saw back then, maybe they actually had a medical problem, or they were just pigs. Okay, they ate a lot. That's probably what a lot of it that you saw was. I know I went to school with a certain person that was overweight all their life, and finally ended up having surgery, like gastric bypass, to fix that. But sometimes there is like a gland or something that's off on, you know, somebody's born with something that's not right. And especially with today's foods, it's really hard to keep your weight down. And I've said in other videos, when I do the carnivore videos, man, I just look at food now as a fuel. It's just like water. I know I gotta have water. I drink it. I know I gotta have fuel, food. But I don't try to make gourmet meals anymore. I don't, you know, you have to use some discipline where everything in our mind today is like every meal has to be gourmet, everything has to be good. It doesn't. It doesn't. You eat, how long you spend a day eating? Maybe half an hour total. Some people eat 3 meals a day. I spend about 15 minutes of eating. That's a very small portion of my day. I want to do it, get the fuel in me, and get off to do what I got to do. People spend way too much time worrying about what food, how it's going to taste, and how it's going to impress somebody, when all it should be is you pull up somewhere and you fuel up and you go. When you can start thinking like that, you're going to feel 10 times better. I promise you. And I do. I feel great. My inflammation is all but gone. Yes, my back is still bad. I still got bad discs and degenerative disc disease, but I'm going to tell you what, when I find myself working too much, I do overdo it one day, the next morning I'm fine. I don't have any inflammation. You know, I've been over and did something stupid once in a while, and it hurts, but I don't get the inflammation anymore because I quit putting all that crap in my body. But getting back to the going to the doctor, you really need to be careful when you're getting your blood work and all that done, because those scales, those average scales that they have, that you're supposed to fall in between a certain number, all of them, your cholesterol, all of these things, the way they get those is they average the whole country. So if you've got 5 million fat people coming out with the same results, well, that's what they're basing it on. They're not basing it on what an actual healthy person should be. I might have messed that up, but I've seen the studies on that. But it's not. I think Dr. Ken Berry was talking about that. That is not the scale. You know, it's just an average. So a lot of people, when they're asking me about why can't I say that today? Cholesterol. They're worried about the cholesterol, how high it's going to be, and that's something that they've made us fear. Cholesterol, a lot of things are making us fear because they want us on them pills. If you take these pills, your cholesterol will stay low. Well, I was on those pills before, and it didn't do squat. And I wasn't going to take any more than what I was taking. So it's very, you know, it shouldn't be this way. Where we are in today's society, with as smart as we have gotten, so-called smart, we should have cures for half the problems we have, and you should be able to go into a doctor and he's going to tell you straight up, what are you eating? He's going to ask you, what are you eating? Well, there's your problem. And send you home and you quit eating those things and you don't have to go back. That's why they don't do that, because they want you to come back. That's money. Again, greed. Greed is the #1 problem in this country and in this world. And it's been that way for a long, long time. So you have to really take a look at what you're on. Look at the pills that you're on and wonder why you're on those particular pills. Why are you on blood pressure pills? Do you consume a lot of sugar? Do you drink Coca-Cola all day long? There you go. Quit drinking the Coca-Cola and watch how quick your blood sugar and all that goes down. As soon as you cut out all the carbs and then all the sugar, you know, you don't have to go carnivore. Just watch what the carbs you are consuming, and do not consume any seed oils. What are seed oils? Well, your vegetable oils, the yellow crap that you get in the store. Cook with good products like beef tallow. There's butter. There's so many things you can cook in. Yes, butter is good for you. Fat is good for you. Don't drink low-fat milk. Drink the whole milk. Get milk straight from the cow if you can find a place to get raw milk. It is better for you. All the things you've been taught, most of them are a lie. They're a lie to keep you medicated and to keep you coming back to the doctor. They do not want to cure you. Before, you know, these kind of videos are hard to make because I don't want to say, hey, just throw all your pills out. Don't do that. I'm saying, cut out the carbs, cut out the sugar, keep an eye on your blood sugar, keep an eye on your blood pressure, and you be the boss of when to get off of those things. Because when I first started carnivore, right away I cut myself in half with the metformin. And then after maybe 2 months, I just quit taking it. And it was pretty soon after I quit taking metformin, I started feeling really good. And man, I just feel 10 times better, 100 times better than I used to. Simply from cutting out carbs, cutting out sugar. Some of you out there are never going to give those things up. You just think life is would suck without them. But I'm here to tell you, it's a whole lot better. You would enjoy it. Your mind will clear up. That is another benefit of cutting those things out. Your mind. You might think you're losing your memory because you're getting older. It's all the crap you're eating. Once you start eating right and get off the medications, your mind will be so clear. It's amazing. I feel bad for all the people who have passed away in the last 50 years that were on some of these medications that never had a chance to just start eating right. They might have lived another 10, 20 years. And I'll just keep making these kind of videos because, you know, they wake people up. I don't necessarily, and for some reason, YouTube does not pay well for these kind of videos. So, but that's not the point. The point is, it's like a standard procedure for everybody that goes that gets their blood work done, that goes to the doctor. If one number's off, there's a prescription. That will fix it. It doesn't fix it. It masks whatever problem you have. And then you continue to eat the same crap that you're eating, and nothing ever gets fixed, and eventually it catches up with us, and that's it for it. You know, that's it. You don't enjoy the last 10, 20 years of your life. You're in pain. You're tired. Eating right fixes all that. So I want you to start reading labels when you go into the store. Pick up the bread. Even pastas, all kinds of things. I love pasta. That's probably, oh man, I probably ate it, some sort of pasta at least 3 times a week. And I really don't miss that stuff now. I really don't. But you can eat that once in a while, okay? You can eat, but just stay away from seed oils. Seed oils are the very worst thing you can eat. It takes almost 2 years to get them out of your body. If you ate a McDonald's French fries today, and you never ate them, and you never touched seed oil again after you ate those French fries, guess what? It's going to be 2 years. 2 years or more before that comes out of your body and gets off your liver. That's how bad seed oils are. Do some research on that. You will find that's true. They don't want you to know that. The food industry is in on a lot of this too. They're in on all of it. They're all together. Big money is all in bed together. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.